President's Young Talent Exhibition is SAM's most important exhibition for young artists under the age of 35 from Singapore. This biannual exhibition is a commissioning exhibition, which means we provide resources as well as space and time for young artists to create completely new work. Usually it's work that they have never attempted before that marks hopefully a change in their practice, and it's a sort of attempt to open up the possibilities for art making among artists in Singapore. PYT is also very special because each artist works with a curatorial committee, and especially two members in this case from the curatorial committee for each artist who act as mentors. They discuss concepts with the artist, they discuss how to present the work, even right down to the mechanics. And so this process is really unique because it creates an environment where they can, from the beginning to the end of the artwork creation process, discuss and get new ideas and, be in an environment where their thinking can evolve in wholly new and creative ways.
When I first received the commission from the Singapore Museum, I wanted to make a work that is site-specific, so a work that is about the place itself. And I think that for this project, I want to look at the place not as a museum white cube, but what's the identity of the building. And hence, I began investigation into SAM's former identity as a St. Joseph institution and its relationship with its current identity as a museum. In the process, I interviewed about 5 former students who used to study in SJI. I interviewed them and intentionally kept the audio and the video image kind of separate from each other because I wanted the film to be more about the act of remembering rather than the content of the memory itself. So in the actual installation, you'll see the two elements being separated into 2 different rooms. Part of the work also encompassed the use of the 16mm film medium. I think the use of the medium is very integrally tied up to the context of the work because I feel that film is a very physical material. It deteriorates over time, and over the course of the 9-month-long exhibition, the film print is going to be scratched, it's going to accumulate dust and dirt. In the way, it actually mirrors for me the architecture of the building itself and how it changed over time. A building deteriorates, it slowly accumulates kind of scars. So these are some of the things that I'm looking for. Scars and signs of age in the building itself.
For the President Young Talent exhibition, I took a close look at the issue of the wild boar situation in Singapore, where we currently have too many wild boars on our island. So the government sort of came in to suggest culling as measurement to control their population. When this was happening, there were a lot of different perspectives and opinions. Some of them said this was very cruel, some of them said that this was okay. So the work in the PYT tries to look at all these different perspectives of this situation. So I managed to take a close-up picture of the wild pigs when I was in the PS Reservoir because they were quite tame. And then when I look at the images again in the studio, I realized it was quite dark, the skin and the fur, and you can just see minute details of lines, and then there was some dirt on the fur as well, and then this turned out to be sort of like stars. So when you blow the image up 10 to 15 times, it looks like a sort of very dark galaxy or image taken in space. So for me that was quite interesting, and I started to approach the project this way.
This idea is site-specific to the location. Originally, this place was housed by Joseph Institute, and then after that, when he moved out, Singapore Museum took over, which also represents itself as an art institution within this space. So I'm dealing with the idea of how an institution actually plays a vital role in our lives. So I'm trying to emphasize the idea of how knowledge is an integral part of an institution, and how the idea of light as a metaphor for the idea of enlightenment when you uncover certain knowledge or information. So when you walk around, you'll be able to see that there's a door that is pulsating with light, and when you walk through the door, you experience this form of enlightenment, and then you experience it while going through the passageway, and then you uncover the main installation, where it's actually a singular chair, which is a lecture chair, So when you sit on it, the lights tend to flicker and it tends to agitate to symbolize that the lights are trying to tell you more things. I want the focus only to be on the red wires. So it seems like the power points are the one that is connected directly to the lamps itself. So as the installation takes place, you'll be able to see that the lamp turns on and the power points switch on by itself. So it's the idea of automation, how we are incorporating this into our lifestyle.